When you get an audition, after you've read the scene, I bet the first thing you do is think, right, I've got to really nail this. How can I nail this? Because we all want to do well, don't we? And we seek that approval that we get from people going, yeah, that was a good job, well done. And of course, when it comes to auditioning, it's a job interview, isn't it? And you want to get the gig. But focusing on doing well, striving to be good, is often a good way to achieve the opposite result, because we know that stress is the biggest destroyer of performance that's around. Doesn't matter what the job. So striving too hard is not something that you should be aiming for. And anyway, there are lots of other things besides the specific outcome of a performance in one take that a casting director or director is looking for in an auditioning actor. And so that's what I want to talk about, is those other things that directors and casting directors are looking for. I want to talk about that in this, our 28th Talking Acting, and then after that I'll give you the 8th smart question to ask your casting director or director. So when I was directing regularly and we were looking to cast a guest actor in a series, then we would probably bring in 5 actors, and 4 of them would be ones whom we thought we could do the role, and maybe the 5th was someone who we hadn't seen before, and we'd like to try out and see how they go. But we still were bringing them in because we thought that they were a potential chance, which meant if you're one of that group, you've got a 1 in 5 chance of getting the gig. But times have changed, partly to do with COVID. Self-tests have now become ordinary, and it makes life a lot easier for casting directors to see more people. So they now sometimes see 10 or 15 potential actors for a role. And so now your chance of getting cast goes down to 1 in 15. And you're probably working harder because you're doing more auditions with less chance of getting them. And so that adds to your stress levels, which can affect the outcome of your auditions. So what are the things that the casting director is going to be looking for in your self-test? Well, often casting directors are going to ask you for a couple of takes so that they can see if you can change, because that's your opportunity to show the range of your skills. And so being able to change and demonstrate that clearly, and in changing, creating a believable character that's different, or a different way of going about the conversation or the story, but it's still got to be believable and engage an audience, is a big factor. So being able to change, which has always been on the list and important, goes right up there, doesn't it? Because it's one of the things that's going to have you standing out. And the other thing is that I believe that something else that has you standing out is that you can deliver a playful performance, because so many actors are intensely dramatic. And as a result, the likability of their character goes down. That delivering a playful performance is also something that I think should be high on your list when you're self-testing. And if you're being playful, you're taking risks, and you're not worried about being good. You're worried about having fun. So that's a different perspective for you to be thinking about, isn't it? And the next step comes when, of course, you get the gig or you get the call back. Because then when you're working with a casting director or director and you're taking direction, there are other factors that they're going to be taking into account. And one of them is how likable you are. So it's really important that you don't take any baggage into the audition room or onto the set even. That you are just yourself, your relaxed, straightforward, simple self that can ask effective and efficient questions, that is comfortable about making change and taking direction, and doesn't see that that your first offer has been rejected as a criticism. It's just part of the working relationship. And those sorts of things are the behaviours that are going to have a tick beside your name. Easy to work with, fun, intelligent, takes direction well. So focus on those ingredients and focus on being yourself, because that's your biggest selling point. So under these circumstances, that is where you can use the SMART questions that we've been discussing thus far, assuming that they're relevant. And you can use questions 1 to 7 or use a number of them. And I was saying last time, it's probably not a good idea to combine them into and put 2 SMART questions into one, because you're going to create a complicated question and you're probably going to get a complicated answer. Of course, that choice is yours, but that's the risk. But you may have got satisfactory answers and you're reasonably clear about the choices you're going to make to deliver what they want, but a little bit unsure. And in which case, here's question number 8. Say to them, can I run a few lines for you so that you can tell me whether I'm heading in the right direction or not? Because if you've got a workable, active process and you've made clear choices, they will be able to tell within 2 or certainly within 4 lines whether that's doing the job for them. And you might get a little bit of extra feedback that enables you to make a slight adjustment, or you might get the tick, and so then you can do it again. And if you've got a workable, practical process, which is the focus of the skills that we build at the rehearsal room, then you can go back to the start. You can put your workable ingredients in place, and then you're going to trust your listening and enjoy being playful as you work your way through the scene. And that's going to give you the best chance of offering a workable outcome that will get you the gig. But that's not the most important deal. What the major goal for you, the primary goal should be for you in the audition room, or on the set even, is to have fun doing the job, is to be flexible, intelligent and effective in your choices, so that you're a person that they enjoy working with, and in which case you're likely to be asked back to audition again, because those are qualities that resonate everywhere. Enjoy your auditioning. Make sure you have fun so that when you go back, you are confident to play again next time. And I'll be talking acting again on a new topic, same time next week. Cheers. If you have a question about this unique approach to acting process, you can email me, richard@rehearsalroom.com. Make a booking for a free 30-minute chat, or download the ebook. It's free too.